right, so back for another day thinking about area of weird looking shapes. So our next thing we're going to focus on is what's called area of a shaded region. So something like this, where you have a shape that's kind of complex, made up of other shapes, and your job is to find the area of a particular part of it, shaded part of it. Or what I like to think of as the area after a cutout. So here's what we're looking at. In the last video, we found the area of this exact shape, and it was pretty challenging. We had to break it up into a bunch of different shapes and find each of their areas, and then add them back together to find the total area. Now we'll keep that in mind, but we're actually going to think about this shape instead of as a bunch of little shapes formed together. I want to think about it as one big shape with something cut out. So here's what I mean. This is what I'm going to call a cutout. So if I look at this shape, yeah, I could break it into the rectangle, rectangle, triangle. Or I could think, well, to me, this looks like a big rectangle where someone cut off that corner. So I'm going to think about this as the whole shape being a big rectangle. And then I'm going to cut out that corner, take that area away, and see what's left over. All right, so here we go. If I'm thinking about it this way, that would be a right angle because it's one big rectangle. And then I'm going to be doing actually the rectangle minus that triangle as if it were cut off that paper. And that should give me my total area. Let's see. Okay, so thinking about the big rectangle. The big rectangle has 6 feet as the width. And then the big side, the whole side, is 16 feet. And then this little triangle over here, well, it has a side, if this is 8, and since it's a rectangle, the whole side should be 16 to match this one. This one, little part here would also have to be 8. So fill that in for my rectangle's height, it looks like. Sorry, triangle's height. And then I need to find down here the base of my triangle. So in the big rectangle, both of these sides are 6. If this much is 2, then that has to be 4. So I'll find the area of this big rectangle that I didn't have, and then I'll subtract or take away, cut out the area of that triangle. So using my formulas, area equals length times width for a rectangle. So the area is going to equal 16 times 6. I'm going to grab my calculator. 16 times 6 is 96. So 96 feet squared. And then I'll do the area of my triangle next. Area equals half the base times the height. So area is half of my base, which is 4, times my height, which is 8. And I'll calculate half of 4 is 2 times 8 is 16 square feet. So that total area should be 96 minus 16. And if I do that out, I get 80 square feet. Which, comparing to my other method, cutting it up and finding it, I also got 80 square feet. So this is a legal thing to do. Instead of thinking about it as a bunch of shapes that you're adding together, can you think about this same shape as one big shape with a piece cut off? And that's what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to do a few more examples, and I'm going to put those examples in separate videos.